It's been a very busy and hectic week, right?
Very, very much so.
And you didn't even get the time and chance to go through your Sabbath school lesson. But don't worry, hey, we've got it for you. We're just going to give you a brief summary.
Brief. Yeah, we should try to be brief today.
Yeah, today we're brief.
Yeah.
Mr. Ripe, what's our lesson?
The lesson's title is saying "Shining as lights in the night."
Yeah, shining as lights in the night. It's lesson number 5, right?
Lesson 5, yeah.
Lesson number 5.
Oh yeah, lesson 5.
Lesson 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Our memory text is found in the book of Philippians. So, by the way, we are studying the book of Philippians and Colossians. For this quarter. Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. Verse 14 reads, I'm reading in the New King James Version, do all things without complaining and disputing. Verse 15, that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God without fault in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world.
And that is our memory text.
Yeah, that's our memory text.
The whole lesson of lesson 5, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, Sabbath School afternoon, let's get into it. The Sabbath School afternoon, I will not try to narrate what the Bible... Why am I saying the Bible? what the Sabbath School writer says, but I will just give you some few points, 3 points that I get on the Sabbath School afternoon that I want us to take home. Lesson number 1 is that Jesus is the light of the world. As we all know, Jesus is the light of the world. Without Jesus, the world will be so dark and gloomy. So Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus is the light of your life. Get Jesus, yeah? Get Jesus. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is that maybe one can ask, how can we be the light? Now, in a very simple and straightforward way, for us to can be the light. It's simply that we need to connect with Jesus. True. You said something last week to say that your friend is a vendor. He dates a closer, but now he speaks closer because why? He's connected with the lady. He now learns the language. So similarly with us, if we want to be the light, Jesus is the light, we must connect with Jesus, the light. All right, lesson number 3. It says the light and the power of heaven is available to all of us who have surrendered our lives to Jesus. It's more or less the same. There's no limitation and there's no door closed for anyone. Even if you're a drunkard, even if you're a smoker, if you surrender in heaven and if you surrender your life to God, you can also be the light and shine. Those are the lessons that I got from the Sabbath School afternoon.
You touched on the point that we are supposed to be the light and we receive the light from Christ. Right. So as Matthew chapter 5 verse 14 says, you are the light of the world. Right. A light that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Right. And the writer asks an important question, which is, how can we be the light? And then the writer answers by saying, only through a close connection with Jesus. That's what you said, right? So this example is always given, right, of a moon, the sun, and the earth, the relation between the sun, moon and the earth, right? So one thing I've learned about these 3 celestial bodies, is that the sun is the brightest of all objects. And Jesus Christ is forever glorious. Christ is called the Son of righteousness.
Yes.
And then now we have the moon, right? And we represent the moon. Okay. And one thing I learned about the moon is that it does not have light of itself.
All right.
Okay, it reflects light from the sun. Right. So us, right, we don't have the light. We reflect light from Jesus to the earth. Right. And one thing I learned also is that it shines at night. The moon shines at night. So in this dark and gloomy world, we are to be the moon, to shine in the dark and night world, right? And if the earth does not get light either from the sun and the moon, right, it will remain in darkness. Okay. Another thing I learned is that sometimes the moon, right, it blocks the sun from blocks the earth from receiving light from the sun. That's what we call an eclipse. Have you heard of an eclipse? So
we had one not long.
We had one. So as human beings, or as Christians, or as Adventists rather, we also have this tendency of becoming eclipses. Right? We are blocking people from receiving the light from Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So we are supposed to be the light. No, let us not become eclipses.
I believe we all know
Sabbath.
Yeah, Sabbath school afternoon.
Yeah.
I believe we all know what's the use of a light.
If
you are saying that we are kind of having complexion, is because there's a light in front of us.
Yes.
All right, let's go to Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday, the topic of Sunday is saying we work out what God works in. It was kind of confusing in my own trying to understanding way. We work out what God works in. I hope you will explain further on the topic. All right, I'm gonna read a line from a Sabbath school writer.
Okay.
It says, without question, salvation is God's work, and we can take absolutely no credit for it ourselves. Even faith itself is a gift, something that I didn't know. Encouraged through the work of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Our own works cannot save us. However, through the new birth, God recreates us spiritually, enabling us to do good works. God's Spirit works in us, empowering our will to choose the right, so to resist temptation and to make right choices. I then kind of get it when I start to read it, but I still hope you'll explain in your own way.
Okay.
That I feel like Sunday was talking to us to say that we are saved. You know, we once had an episode talking about salvation and whatnot. So I think here we are being taught about salvation, something that is also confusing for many people, because like it's like your works don't save you, but you still have to work, you know. It doesn't really make sense to me sometimes, you know. But I get to 3 lessons that we are not saved for sure by our work. Lesson number 1 is that the Holy Spirit has to be in us, to work on us, so that we can have works that saves us at the end of the day. Then also lesson number 2, God saves us with His love and forgiveness. You know, maybe example it's that as people, there are many things that we do, and when we are doing them, we never do it to a perfection, but through God's grace, through God's love, we still end the points, you know. But above all, the lesson that I got from Sunday is that it's not by our works or by our power, but by God's grace and the Holy Spirit working through us. That's how we are being saved. So I think Sunday was talking about being saved. Hence, we work out what God works in.
Wow. Yeah, we work out what God works in.
So, last point. Sorry. The Spirit helps us to believe. That is the last point. Yeah.
So we work out what God works in. Okay. So have you ever tried to shake a closed 2-liter bottle of Coke? Okay. So it's closed slightly, right? So when you try to shake it, you shake it very hard. What does it do?
It has
it escapes, right? So similarly, when you do that to water, right, you try to shake it, right, when you just slightly open it, it's just gonna burst, right? So it's similar to what happens in our lives, all right? So if God's love is burning in us, right, you won't just keep it. Rather we
okay.
Right? So when we really understand what Christ has done in our lives, we won't just keep that love within ourselves, right? So and then the one thing I've noticed also is that the reason why we are not sharing God's love is because the water in our bottle is cold, right? Rather, we're not Coke. You know, Coke, when you shake it, bursts.
Right,
we are like Oros, Oros and Fusion. You know, when you shake Oros and Fusion, no matter how much you shake it, it doesn't.
I know a lot of Oros.
It doesn't burst up.
Yeah.
So the reason why people cannot see Christ in us is because our bottles are not filled with Coke or hot water. So when we are being shaked, right, we become hot inside. Then but we work inside out. You see? So yeah, in other words, God is the one who's supposed to be working in us. So when we're not bursting up, we're not really doing God's work. Yeah.
Oh. All
That
right.
was what
Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Monday. The heading of Monday is a light in a dark world. Light in a dark world. I feel like this one was kind of straightforward for me. That we must be the light in the dark world. And in Philippians 2 verse 14, Paul gives the Philippians some advice to say, whatever you are doing, do not complain and do not argue.
Yeah.
If you're being told to do something and you start to complain, you are being in the darkness. So don't do that. All right, 3 lessons that I get here is that
I'm always getting 3 lessons.
3. I'm working with 3. Yeah, three. Even God works with 3.
Yeah.
3 needs.
It's a special number. Man.
Yeah, it is, honestly. All right, 3 lessons that I got on Monday. 1 is that we must be different from the world,
Yeah.
When we are moving, when we are talking, when we are doing whatever it may be that we're doing, there should be a different, not just a slight different, but a very huge difference between us and the people of the world. What am I saying when I say the people of the world? The people of the world are those people who truly do not know God, because there are those people who don't know, or maybe even those that know God, but not because of their own knowledge that they acquired, but the knowledge that someone installs on them. I call you the person of the world. I'm sorry. But yeah, we must be different from the people who do not know God, because we know God. When we're starting off, we are talking about God being the light. Now, there must be a different from a place where there's a light and a place where there's darkness. So when the light comes in, it lights up the darkness, hence light in the dark world. But number 2, we must live a holy life. I mean, you must live a brightful life. God is holy, so must we also be holy.
Yes.
God is the light. So if we are connected with Him, we are the light, and we are lighting up the world. Number 3, reject evil. As much as we are living in the world of evil, the evil things might be those things that what are the evil things, man? So we must reject evil at all costs. Selfishness, we're talking about selfishness last week, which brings in disunity. So we must reject all those things and be the light in the dark world.
As I was reading Monday, right, I discovered that when it's dark at night, there are many lights. There are many lights. You have street lights, you have spotlights, you have car lights, front lights of the car and rear lights, you have LEDs, people light on torches, light bulbs, some even light on candles and so forth, but I discovered that these types of lights, they are temporary. A torch can just burn, a light bulb you can just burn, or your torch can go out, your candle can just go out, right? So what are we saying? We are saying in the world there are so many lights. There are so many people who claim to have the true light. Right? There are shepherds. There are shepherds who say, my LED is the best. One pastor might say, me, my light bulb is the best. One apostle can say, me, my street light is the best.
Is the one.
But those things are temporary. But when you look up into the sky, when it's very dark, the writer says, what do you see? You see stars. Okay? So, and we are called to become stars, right? We're called to become the stars in the perishing world, right? To give light in the darkness, right? And these stars, they're not temporal, they are permanent. And there's one thing I learned about stars. Okay, so number 1, stars are above, they're in the sky. Okay, and these street lights, whatever, candles, they're just here below. Okay, so it means our citizenship should not be of this world, it should be above there, right? Our message is not of this world, it's of heaven origin. Okay. Number 2, I learned that, so scientists, they say those stars you see at night, they are suns.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
I've heard that. So they're saying they are sons. I don't know, maybe they are right.
Maybe
there's only one way to prove it. When Jesus comes, we shall know. So if they are stars, it simply means if they are suns, it simply means, and as we are stars, it simply means we should imitate Jesus.
Who is the sun?
Okay. So number 3, I learned that when it's dark, right, and when there is load shedding, the candles go out. They always shine. Stars, they always shine.
They don't have load shedding.
They don't have load shedding. So we should also become like what? We should also become like stars. And interestingly enough, stars in the Bible, they referred to, when you check the book of Revelation, chapter 12, they say stars, they represent angels, And interestingly enough, we also called angels, but that's another study for another day.
Yeah.
You see, so we should become stars in the what? In the dark world. Hence our topic was saying what?
Light in a dark world.
In a dark world.
Yeah.
So that's what I picked. That was
Monday. Yeah.
Okay, then Tuesday. A living sacrifice. So in the lesson, right, the drink offering was poured out.
Yeah.
Right. We saw there in the book of the Philippians chapter. Yeah, I forgot the chapter there.
20.
No, it's chapter 2. Yeah, Philippians chapter 2, verse 17. So Paul describes himself as a drink offering that was poured out. Right. So there's an interesting lesson I learned there, is that the drink offering was poured out similarly as so in the Old Testament, okay, in the Old Testament sacrificial system, right, where when one brings a lamb, when the lamb is slaughtered, they take that blood, then they put it at the base of the altar. Okay, so they're pouring it at the base of the altar. Okay, so similarly, okay, so catch this. So the sinner brought the lamb, and the lamb represents Jesus that was sacrificed.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lamb will be slaughtered, and now when the lamb is slaughtered, it's a dead sacrifice. Okay, so the sins then they will be transferred to the what? To the lamb.
Yeah.
Right, and then the blood is poured at the base. So it's similarly to what Christ did. Right. So when Christ died on the cross of Calvary, our sins, they were transferred to Jesus.
Yeah.
And his blood was poured down there at the cross. You see the similarity there. And then the writer talks about a living sacrifice.
Yeah.
So now that the lamb is dead now on your behalf, right, you are now living. Hence now, as a living sacrifice, you should pour out your drink. You see, can you see the similarities there?
Yeah.
So our sins have been transferred to Jesus, right? And Christ has become our sacrifice. Is dead, he died, so that we can be living. So now, as a living sacrifice, we are saying we are following what Christ has done. We are imitating Christ. Then it means we have to pour out our drink.
True.
Yeah, that's what I picked on Tuesday.
Okay, a living sacrifice. It's like kind of connecting with what you're saying right now. In Philippians 1, verse 20 to 23, Paul was ready to die for the gospel. He was ready to pour out. All right, so as people, we must be willing. This is the lesson that I got. We must be willing to live our life and be ready to die for the gospel. Something that none of us here. I'll be honest. Everyone that I know, at least, counting myself, I don't think we are ready to die for the gospel. So two lessons that I got. It's not three now.
It's two.
One is that we should work for God.
Yeah.
We should work for God. Let's work for God. So one of the ways that you can work for God is to subscribe here. You will be working for God.
Okay.
Simple and free. Subscribe and like and maybe comment. Alright, number 2 is that let us not be people who depend on our pastors to preach the gospel. Let us be ready and be willing to work for this gospel. Let us go out and tell this gospel to every nation and not depend on the pastors. And somewhere in the last lines there of the Sabbath school writer, he was also mentioning the fact that the pioneers of our church, they were willing and they went out to spread the gospel. So let us work. Let us not wait for our pastor to come and talk to our neighbors. They don't even come to our house. But we're not there. Let us be the one who talks to our neighbors and not depend on our pastor. Those are the lessons that I got from Tuesday. Wednesday.
Proven character. So I like the quotation that was mentioned from Ellen G. White.
Funny enough, that was the quotation that I also loved in the whole.
Testimonies to the Church, volume 5, page 344. If you have time, please read it out.
Should I read it? I have it.
I can read.
But I got it from on the easy read, so it's not that Ellen G. White type English. It's for us to understand. Then it says.
I can read it. I'll comment afterwards.
Ellen G. White says, we will have experience that will be the same as test. Some experience will cause us to feel angry or absent. Is the one, We must not get mad. When we behave with the spirit of forgiveness and love, we become the same as Jesus in our hearts. So we must not get mad or absent when people insult us or hate us. We must answer them with loving words. We must show love to people who are mean to us. Then we will show everyone that the Spirit of Jesus lives in our hearts. That was the easy read. I know in the normal writing version, it's kind of shorter than this.
So okay. Personally, Wednesday was directly talking to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll be thinking, maybe you're standing right with God. Yeah. You'll be thinking, you're perfect, and then God says, let's see. Let's prove it.
Let's see. Yeah.
He allows the devil to bring people, to provoke you. Sometimes he bring people from work, at home, at school, your spouse, wherever, even at church. These people will be provoking you just for God to test your character. It's a way of God to test our characters. You see, and then you will say to yourself, I thought I was humble. I thought I was meek.
But no, I saw another character.
I thought, So, so I want to believe that provocations sometimes they are necessary. They are necessary in order to prove and to test our characters. So you see how I see it. Okay, so I'll just give a simple illustration. Suppose you have a dirty mat.
Yeah.
You have a dirty mat. You then start to clean it. You put soap, and then it becomes a foam. You start scrubbing. So you'll never see it's clean up until you put water.
Yes.
Put some water. So it's the very same thing with us. You will never. So water in this case is like trials. It's like a test. You see. So you will never see we are clean. You will never see our characters they're now perfect up until the trials they come.
Yeah.
So you see.
Yeah.
So whenever you pour water on that mat, then you just see some dirt. Then you see the character is not yet sorted. Yeah, it's not yet proper. Then you start scrubbing again.
Yeah.
You see. So scrubbing is like a daily cleansing.
Yeah.
You're daily cleansing yourself. So provocations, I think, they're necessary for a Christian. So I think we should pray for more tests, we should pray for more provocations.
Yeah.
So those ones who are going to make it in the kingdom are those ones who have made it have passed through these things, trials and whatever. And one thing that shocks me, is that the greatest enemy to you, is not the one who's provoking you, but the greatest enemy to you is yourself, right? So that person, so that person who's provoking you is just there to just test your character. Because on the judgment day, you won't be standing with that person. You're going to be standing alone. So provocations, I think they are necessary to prove our character. So we should pray for more challenges. That was what Wednesday. What do you think?
All right, there's a saying that says, they say that if ever someone provokes you, something bad happens. How you react, they will say, that's the real you.
Yeah.
So you are right. Provocation is something that shows who we are.
Yeah.
And it's very necessary in our everyday life. So without adding much, a lesson is that we like the example you gave to say that the real us it's seen when the water is poured on the mat, So we also need a lot of provoking in our lives so that we get to see who we really are. Unfortunately, it works like that. Who you are when you're angry is really who you are.
Yeah.
That was when?
That was
Wednesday.
So the greatest question is, okay, how did Jesus react? Whenever he encountered such stuff. So we should become more like Jesus. We should just pray to have the character of Jesus. So that we can be able to withstand such. And Thursday, Thursday says, hold such men in esteem. Hold such men in esteem. I don't know what it says in the easy reading.
I didn't understand this.
Okay. So the men there in the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 25 to 30, we are told of a man called Epaphroditus. Right? So he was one of Paul's friends. When Paul was in prison, he was one of the guys who was sent to go and comfort the church in Philippi. Right? So the world is in dire need of such men as Epaphroditus. Verse 30 of Philippians chapter 2, we are told that he nearly died, for the work of Christ. Imagine, it continues to say he risked his life to complete what was lacking in service. And then the greatest question here is how many people are willing to say, oh Christ, I can risk anything so that I can have your gospel to move forward. How many church members will say, okay, we want to risk everything, even if it means us going to the next town. It's going to take us, a few kilometers to get there without our cars, just to have your children to hear your word. How many pastors are willing to say, okay, even if I don't get my salary for the next 3 months,
I will still preach.
I'll still spread the gospel forward. We like such men as Epaphroditus. God needs servants who are going to become like this man, who will even go far, even to the point of sickness, even to the point of death. This man, he knew good, this world, it's worth nothing than to preach the gospel. That was the man, Epaphroditus. Unfortunately, we are living soft lives, we're not willing to go as far as, to preach the gospel. There are so many people who died for this gospel, man. If you can read the era of the Dark Ages, how the early church was persecuted for the gospel. Some were burned at stake, some were thrown to the lions, some were ravaged by dogs, some were boiled. Just for the gospel. We are reading this Bible because of the people like John Wycliffe, the people like Jerome, the people like John Huss, the people like Martin Luther who say, no matter what happens, the gospel has to go forward. And then there's us, cheese boys. What did you pick?
There's us, cheese boys, them cheese girls. I didn't pick much, but I get the lesson as you're talking to say that maybe a question one should ask to themselves is, how far are you willing to go for this gospel? And truth is, as I said previously, many of us, we are not ready. We are just here for the time being. Many of the people in our church I've seen, we are there because we just want to be singing. But the gospel itself, so what you said is enough, man. That's it.
Then Friday, better thoughts.
As always.
So for Friday, we're just leaving a blank. That blank is the comment section.
We will leave it until you comment something.
Please say something on further thoughts. What are your thoughts? What did you pick in this lesson? Also, if you have questions, please note them down. We'll try by all means to
answer them.
And then that's all right. Lesson number 5: shining as lights in the night.
Shining. Let's shine,
Let's shine,
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, we are out lesson number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we'll be doing our lesson number 6.
Yeah.
So we are out.
From Rhythm and Chart, ladies and gentlemen.
Lesson number 5.
Yeah.
Bye.